Hello, welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm the masked man, Michael Mandel. Let me reveal myself.
Demask yourself.
It is really hot in this thing, man. That's why now I have this thing. Let me just, we're on the...
Yeah.
This is now fashion statements. I bought this face shield in the mall for like $2.
Worth every penny.
And it says right on, the first thing it says is warm notice.
Warm notice.
It says warm notice. And
Yes.
I'm thinking that's translated from Chinese, which was supposed to be warning notice.
Yes.
Don't breathe in. Don't let baby. So I'm trying this on. Let's see. This looks so weird. This doesn't even fit.
If you take it off, you'll be demasculated.
Although I could almost drink. I could almost drink with it.
All right.
But these are necessary. Oh, anyway.
Now you're demasculated.
Oh no. I am. Mark, how could you do that? You're so mean. So, did you want to have a drink?
I would love a drink. What have you got in mind?
We will start this thing. Well, this week, my wife said, and I've mentioned this on the show before, the drink called the Penicillin.
Yes.
My wife said, give me a penicillin, a shot of penicillin. When Corona came, we also did a penicillin with Corona in it. When we had all those cures by our president, I figured, why not? So the penicillin is a Scotch drink, and it's made with lemon, honey, and some form of ginger.
Uh-huh.
So I was thinking about making it, thinking, I wonder how it would taste with Irish whiskey. And my wife said, Barb, I don't want to give away her name, she'll be getting too many letters. I said, let's try Jameson. And she says, oh. Anyway, she tasted it and she said, okay, let's see. So I started by putting in the, well, first let me start with, this is Jameson.
The main ingredient.
Yes.
Irish
which is
whiskey.
Irish whiskey, 40% alcohol, 60% water. It's a health food drink. So we're going to try to make this like we would a Negroni. With equal amounts of booze.
Equal amounts of 3 parts.
3 parts. So the Jameson is the hard liqueur. We're using this Canton, not Irish, but it's made in France.
Canton.
It's a French ginger liqueur. It's got a great bottle. It's made by the same people who make Saint Germain elderflower liqueur and Hendrick's gin.
With a name like Canton, you think it'd be Chinese.
Well, Chinese is ginger, right? You think ginger is Chinese, so that's why they do that. Actually, I'm going to use less. This could be killer.
Ginger's supposed to be good for you.
Ginger is good. And let me just say that this ginger liqueur by Canton, if you're making any kind of drink and you've screwed it up, not that I ever screwed up a drink, but if I ever did,
Just add some ginger.
add that, man. It makes it good. And this is an interesting, exciting thing. This is sort of like Corvus, it's sort of like Grand Marnier and Cointreau. It's got an orange base. It's Mandarin Napoleon, but it's stronger and heartier and really stable. And you want a stable drink when you're feeling a little hoarse. Oh, yeah.
Don't nag me.
Oh, did you say nay to this drink? Okay. And I brought lemon in case we need that.
All right.
And we'll see what happens. We're going to do it as
How are you going to see? Because you've got such dark
I
glasses
can barely see, but
on.
then again,
2 pairs of
right
glasses.
Here. That's too bright. Oh, I put the total wrong things in because I couldn't see what
couldn't
they were.
see?
Yeah.
That's how some of the best inventions occurred.
The what? Yes.
People screw up accidentally in the laboratory and, hey, we have a silly putty.
That's how they discovered, LSD and something else, and a number of things.
Post-it
Good,
notes.
not a bad color, right? Hang on.
Well, it's got kind of almost an amber, I guess, from this. Or maybe this,
Yeah,
too.
maybe. Well, it's Jameson.
And Jameson.
Slightly pinkish. You think it's slightly pinkish?
Yeah. It kind of is, almost orangish.
Probably the Mandarin Napoleon.
Sweeter than I would have imagined.
But pretty good. That Jameson, if it were Scotch, it would give you that Scotch burn at the end. But Jameson is a smooth type of drink. This is why I'm billing Irish whiskey as your summer Scotch. It's lighter and not as wintry. Most people drink Scotch or cognac in front of an open fire. In the summer, you don't need that much. So Jameson's good. Any Irish whiskey will work.
This would be a nice cocktail to have at White Sands National Park, now that it's open.
What a segue.
And so, folks,
we're showing a picture of White Sands National Park.
And you can go out there on the dunes now.
Raise your hand if you've ever been there.
I remember once we did a TV show out there. Remember?
We did. Was that with some woman? And we had a picnic?
We were out there for the full moon night.
Yeah.
On the dunes, which is kind of an interesting thing.
Was that the time when that paraglider came up, or that was another time?
I don't remember that one.
I think that was with somebody else.
Mary Barty was with us.
Marie? Mm-hmm. Oh.
Murray Barty. And so I guess...
First time she's been mentioned on this show.
I hope they continue now that the park is open with the full moon nights on the dunes. I guess they'll be able to do it a couple of more times during the summer.
They're always good. You know, but I hear they flattened them down because it was causing people allergies, all those dunes. Sand getting in their nose, so it's not as good. It's got flat. It's going to call it White Sands Flats.
Some drug addicts from California tried to snort the dunes, and it didn't get them very far.
Really? Yeah. You just coke that one up.
And, well, you know, the dunes blow too.
Yeah, but that joke sucked.
Mesilla, not the Mesilla Valley, the
MVD.
MVD.
Motor Vehicle
Division.
Yes. Mesilla Valley Division.
Has nothing to do with...
Mesilla Valley Division would be the Rio Grande, because that's how you divide it.
And it has nothing to do with VD. But the Motor Vehicle Division had been closed in Las Cruces and San Juan County because we were too active with the coronavirus. They've now decided they can open up again because it's tapering off somewhat. So starting Monday, they're taking applications for appointments. You can't just show up. You have to have an appointment. And they're only allowing so many people in at a time.
That is with most things around here now.
Yes.
Most doctors, you have to make them always, you can't just walk in. You can't walk in and get anything, call them, tell them, warning, I'm coming. I have an AR-15.
Unless you go to the emergency room, then you have to take it.
No, you have to call the emergency room. Knock on the door.
Who knows the number of the emergency room?
911.
No, that doesn't answer there.
They don't? Well, no. But you have to call up for your haircuts, which I haven't done. I did once.
I got a haircut about a week or two ago.
It's coming in.
And yes, and I had to make an appointment.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
They didn't usually take appointments there, but they do now.
They got it because you can't be waiting around. There's too many people breathing.
That's right. That's right. So,
Home and Garden Show. What's going on with that?
Well, the Home and Garden Show was supposed to be in March, like it always is here in the springtime at the convention center. They said, let's postpone it until August. And this week they decided it's going to be canceled for the year. And they're going to have it next March.
A lot of things are happening that way. We are looking at doing the Renaissance Fair with the, Doniana Arts Council.
Are you going to do it? You're going to have the fair at Young Park?
We are going to try to do something.
Why not?
We're going to do a virtual thing. We may be able to do food. We're really working on it to get like interactive virtual, also with food trucks at some place. And I'm not allowed to say anything, so don't tell anybody.
I was hoping you'd spill the beans here on the show.
I just did.
Because you could have booths that are just further apart from each other and have less of them.
But then, you usually go to eat because you happen to be there looking at all the crazy things, and there you can do it. We're going to have a lot of things on video, I think.
If you make people wear a mask, then, even though you're shoulder to shoulder with them, walking up and down the aisles, you should be okay.
And what's funny is, the Renaissance Fair is all about masks, isn't it? I mean, people are in costume.
You're in costume.
Might as well wear a mask.
And, the jesters would wear a mask frequently.
Yes, and those masks with the big beaks on it from the Middle Ages, the doctors.
Those big
so that could work.
And so all of this is because of the COVID-19 virus.
All of this is because of the COVID-19 virus.
And COVID-19, as it turns out...
is that how you spell it?
Is worse now in prisons.
And Arizona.
And nursing homes.
And Florida. It's always been bad in nursing homes. That's where the first fatalities came from.
Yes, but prisons...
because they screwed up, especially Otero, I believe,
Yeah, that's the prison just north of Chaparral on the way to Alamogordo.
In case anybody wants to go there to visit people.
Well, there's a lot of illegals in there who were arrested and already had the virus. And now I'm hearing that Mexico, which has become our largest trading partner, surpassing China, I heard the estimate that at least 50% of Mexicans have the virus.
You read that in the paper on Thursday, and I would question that.
I heard it on the radio.
It would be really hard to figure. Well, then they read it in the paper because it was in the paper Thursday.
It's hard to imagine that 50% of a nation would have the virus.
Right, but the question is how bad, and we know that they're not tested. If you ever look at the numbers on news, even in Juarez, they haven't tested more than 2,000 people, or they have 2,000 cases and they tested maybe 4,000 people. So
Right.
They're not testing, so you can assume that then most of Juarez has virus.
Well, our president said we should need to quit testing.
Right, we don't have to worry about testing because it's just going to go away. Well, folks,
Like
we
magic.
just blew the last 2 months because if we didn't get back to all of our cavorting, things would be tapering off just like it has in Europe because they took it more serious and had a consistent government policy,
Right.
which we didn't.
Japan is pretty much done with it. China is pretty much done with it. Most of Europe's pretty much done with it. South Korea,
New Zealand is
pretty much
good.
done with it. Brazil is still spiking.
Iceland never had it.
The U.S. Is still shirking its duties.
No, we're getting worse if you look at the lines. And that's because the last 2 months we opened up the economy because somebody was afraid that the economy would be bad and then somebody would not win the election.
Well, yeah. Well, if you look at the map, we are surrounded. New Mexico is surrounded by Arizona and Texas, where they've really spiked in their numbers. New Mexico has not.
We're doing okay. We're getting.
And that's why the state reopening here is on pause right now.
Yes, because
State of New Mexico
we're
is
like
holding back.
in a shaky little balance. You know, if people don't wear masks, like we're not wearing here, I was wearing a mask, things are going to happen. It doesn't matter. You can't want something. It's like you go to church, you're not going to be saved except by your mask.
For some reason, they were thinking that the hot weather would somehow miraculously defeat the virus. That has not happened.
That's not, no, it doesn't work that way. It's great how science is not taking a hand in our general United States government policy.
Do we need to take a break here?
Are we taking a break?
Let's take a break.
Because I'll put my mask back on, you know.
And we'll show you the pictures of the prisons and the nursing homes after this break.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Ta-ta.
And we'll make another cocktail, too.
Yes.
You found us on Channel 98. Keep watching because we have so much in store for you. We want to grow together. Your channel, local and real.
If we want to improve America's healthcare system, let's start by improving the health of Americans. Despite the best doctors, hospitals, and medical advancements, Americans are not as healthy as they should be. We spend too much on treatment and not enough on wellness and prevention. We need a system based on primary care. When patients have a medical home and a long-term relationship with a doctor, the result is a longer, healthier life and reduced medical costs for everyone. Let's make America a place where health is primary.
Horizon Granite is here.
It's here. Horizon Granite is here. We'll come to you to customize your kitchen and bathroom with beautiful countertops and cabinets. Find out more at horizongranite.com. Call us at 575-650-3180.
Horizon Granite is here.
It's here.
Make yourself a beautiful home.
Hi, I'm Ray Bamberg with Here on Earth. I would like to invite you for a free hearing evaluation to our office. We've been here in southern New Mexico for 34 years helping people hear better.
We're back. You're watching Double Talk on the Las Cruces channel.
See how easy it is to change your entire looks? You can wear a bag over your head like
Please, put it back on.
Charlie Brown wears a bag over his head now when he goes to camp. So we're going to do our next drink.
No. Is it my turn to wear it next?
Yeah, just put it on inside out.
All right.
Because all the COVID's on the outside.
Okay. Now we were just talking about prisons.
Prisons.
And how bad it is in prison. Once you're a captive person in prison,
Are you?
there's no getting away from that virus.
That's the definition there.
And some prisons have an 80% infection rate, and which is almost as bad as nursing homes.
Well, once a nursing home gets it, everybody walks around. We know people who, one part of that family works in a nursing home and one part works in a prison. And man, if you're in a family group,
you wouldn't want to go to their party, would you?
No, you'd have to wear your mask.
And
my mask is making a shadow. Well, move over, Mark. Move over.
Oh, I see it. Okay, I'll sit here. And that's why the state of New Mexico, our lovely Zia flag state,
yes, that's very pretty,
holding back on reopening the state because of Arizona and Texas getting out of hand.
And also, we're moving up a little bit.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I like the fact that restaurants are open. Bars are tough, don't you think?
I had dinner at a restaurant the other night. Went into DH Les Combs.
Yeah.
I had a birthday dinner there last week. And then, last night I took takeout from Chachi's Express on Locust.
And
it's great too. They were both good.
But you did sit. You sat at DH Les Combs.
Yes,
right?
Had dinner there.
And there's enough spacing, right? Because it's a big place.
They space it out. They only take so many reservations. They're not allowing more than 6 people at a time to be at a table. We were right next to a table of 6. And we weren't 6 feet apart, though, like they said that we would be.
But you took a piece of plexiglass with you, right? You didn't take a piece of plexiglass?
And we walked in with masks on. Of course, we took them off. But all the help has masks.
And everybody said, no, put them back on, in your case.
Oh, it's you. Put them back on.
I don't want to see that mug.
They asked if we wanted to sit outside, which we could have done, but it was a bit too warm.
It's too hot outside.
At 6:30 in the evening.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we sat inside. We had a very nice dinner.
We ate at Red Lobster last week. We like Red Lobster. We're regulars there. We love the bartender, Darius, whose drink was on our show.
Do you sit at the bar and eat?
No, they wouldn't let us.
Oh, that's right. Bars are closed.
And even in the side of the bar, you couldn't do it. But the first big room, we're there, and we hear a group come in behind us, and they say, we have 16. And we're thinking, we're going to leave. And they said, no. Putting you in the front corner, that front room, that's where you go first. Front corner, right in the corner, and there was only one other table of about 4 to 6 people, about 20 feet away. We felt fairly good. And it's really good to be back to things that you like, Good food. They gave you those biscuits. Don't you love those biscuits?
I haven't eaten a Red Lobster for several years.
Yeah, because you don't want to kill fish, because they're smarter than you.
And there's always that.
Yeah. It took you a while to remember that. That's why you didn't go.
I prefer eating at local, home-owned restaurants, Michael, instead of roadhouse chains.
Well,
which you seem to prefer.
The people who work in these places are homegrown. They are people who we know. Darius is a great guy. The woman who owns the place is nice. The other waiters are nice. And we're drinking a drink which I didn't explain because, we're talking about really serious stuff. And we only drink to be happy. So this is an ounce of Jameson. And mind you, that's for these smaller glasses. Half ounce of Aperol and a half ounce of, I pronounce it Chinar. Mark prefers Cynar, because it reminds him of cyanide, his favorite way to kill spouses. And you're looking funny. Uh-oh.
Come on,
Are you a little nervous?
We have to toast through our partition.
Wow.
I'm glad you put in less of the two.
Yes, because it overpowers it. The Aperol, I think, comes out with that tangerine, fruity, orangey flavor, doesn't it?
Yes.
Do you want some lemon?
Yes.
Lemon would be good.
I think so. That'll take some of the sweet edge off it.
I know. Do you want to just stick the lemon in your mouth?
No, just put it. That should do it. Thank you.
Good thing I got another one here.
Oh, that helped quite a bit.
Chinar. Chinar, by the way, those of you who haven't been keeping score, is made out of artichokes. It's fermented artichokes.
Fermented artichoke juice.
Lemon picks up some of the flavors and puts it out there. And for people who say things like the word sweet every time they drink something, lemon's a good thing to stop that.
Now, the farmers market in downtown Las Cruces, the farmers and crafts market,
Still open, right?
it's still going. It was cut back quite a bit for a while, but it's opened up again.
But very spaced, right?
It's spaced, and there aren't as many vendors. There aren't as many customers. I'll be down there Saturday. I'll be down there
selling
today.
your wares.
If you see me, come up and say hello. I'd love to talk to you.
If you don't see him, look for him.
I'll be there for a little while.
He's going to change his shirt, so don't memorize his shirt. Memorize that face, that Shayna Punnam.
Now, we're talking about eating out a minute ago. More and more restaurants are opening up.
I'm happy.
And it's good because they were hurting for quite a while.
They still are hurting even with the modicum of people coming in.
And some may never reopen, I'm afraid.
That's true.
Downtown, the Dragonfly went out of business before this happened.
Yes.
And the
Good
Icebox had taken over the space, and they were getting it ready to have a brew pub downtown, which would be two brew pubs right next door to each other.
That's true. That is a good thing for the other one,
And,
which can still stay open because it sells food.
And so, but you can only eat outdoors on the patio right now.
But they do have a patio.
Yeah, they do have some food items.
And then the Amador, which is pretty much less than a year old, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's open.
The Amador.
Yeah.
Is it open indoors and out? The bar must be closed.
I don't think you can do indoors.
Well,
Somebody I know went there. I think they said you could sit down around the edge, away from the bar.
They have such a huge outdoor property.
Yes.
That they could expand as much as they wanted to, if you wouldn't mind not being in the shade.
And the indoor is pretty airy. One of the things about COVID is enough air disperses it so that it comes weak. Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully that's our theory.
That's our theory.
That's our
So we're going to continue eating out.
and trying new places. I will be trying the Amador yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes. It might have been good.
Tell me how it will be.
I will tell you as soon as I find out when I go there yesterday.
Okay. And so we
We'll
do.
see.
Huh?
We'll see. We'll see.
Now, there's like 4 bars and restaurants there. Which one are you going to?
The good one.
Oh, the
The
575?
one that 575 only makes fancy cocktails, which I go to when you have time. But no, just the restaurant, which the same menu has been there before.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, we went to Salute a long time ago. That was the first one we went to outdoors, and they gave us plastic everything.
Oh, so they just throw it away.
Yeah, they just throw it away. But we're looking at that and we're thinking, their glassware they put in a dishwasher. Their silverware you can put in a dishwasher.
Sure.
A dishwasher can kill everything.
Sanitize it with soap.
So it was good to see Red Lobster had real silverware,
that's good.
real glasses.
That's what I have at home.
Do you? Do you throw them out?
Yeah. Go through more silverware that way.
We're collecting a lot, from takeout. They have all these incredible.
Yeah, so it gets its cutlery from the takeout.
As well as all those incredible black boxes that some of them are microwavable, so those are good.
Oh, that's true.
But they still taste a little tough when you microwave those boxes.
It's all how you tenderize them.
Oh.
Now, we do want to mention the passing of a couple of people here. Carl Reiner was...
I believe that's one of our favorites.
I happen to know that Michael and I both were big fans for decades
Years.
of Carl Reiner.
Yes.
Going all the way back to your show of shows, and then the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yes. He lost a lot of hair.
And all the films he directed 6 or 8 films.
He had a great sense of humor.
He did. He and Mel. I feel sorry for Mel Brooks. Mel lost his wife recently. Now he's lost his best friend, Carl Reiner. They used to get together every night.
I know. He was 98, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And even in their 90s, they'd sit at remember those coffee tables, little TV coffee tables?
TV trays.
Yes, that your mother used to have.
And they'd eat and watch movies and stuff.
They'd get deli and eat deli sandwiches.
Oh, and also we need to mention the passing of Rodolfo Anaya, who's kind of known as the godfather of Chicano literature.
Everybody was forced, or it was good to read Bless Me Ultima.
I hear the film version that came out a couple of years ago was quite good. I didn't see it. I remember once he came to an English class of mine in college. And
he said, don't ever read that book.
He gave a speech to us.
We had to read it in grad school.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was a good introduction to stuff.
And also, sometimes they say these things come in threes.
They come in more than threes, but we're going to stop at 3.
We'll note the passing of Johnny Mandel.
No relation.
And he was a big time composer of songs and film scores.
Tell me what he composed, Mark.
Well, one thing we know is the theme song to MASH.
And the name of that is what?
Suicide is Painless.
Right. He also wrote
the theme song to not just the movie, and then of course they adapted it to the TV show.
And he also wrote The Shadow of Your Smile.
Shadow of Your Smile.
Which most people think is a standard, and it is, man. Yeah, and he wrote a number of standards. And I can tell we're not related. Does he have red hair?
It's hard to say, because he could dye it.
Sure, somebody who wants to have dyed hair. I think I'll be a ginger. Is that what you say? Is that the idea?
Yeah, so
we are doing Irish whiskey, so.
It's true, it's true, Irish whiskey. So we're going to go out on a Johnny Mandel song.
That would be so nice. Hopefully it's Shadow of Your Smile and not Suicide is...
No, it's Suicide is
Oh, good,
Michael.
okay. Well...
Theme song to MASH, as it's also known as.
I heard MASH was almost as famous as our show. Did you hear about that?
No.
Did you hear about the show MASH?
We're Smash.
Yes.
Or Smashed.
We're the mashed potatoes of TV.
But
we're not going to do that because our producer is finishing up his food that he got from El Sombrero. Where did he get it from?
Si, Senor.
Si, Senor. It looks good.
Yeah, so they're open too.
What is it, $6.99, everything your stomach can hold?
They have a special every week.
Sounds good. All these great places you can eat at.
So we'll see you next week, folks.
Suicide is painless. Afterwards.
If you do it right.
Yes. Thank you for all your applause. Can't wait till we have 2 stages. The stage East Productions.
Oh.
There's the stage West. And, there it is. We are going to get so slammed on this, aren't we? It's copywritten.
We don't have to pay royalties on the show.
It's a copywritten.
Of course it is.
I'm going to get her, as soon as I put it on YouTube, I'm going to get a notice. You'll see. That's how this thing works, man. They're watching us at all times.
They'll just think the TV's on in the background. Because MASH is always on somewhere.
Yeah, Michael Mandel's going to get sued by Johnny Mandel's heirs. Maybe I'm one of those heirs. Who knows? That would be cool.
Well, then you should be getting royalties, right?
That's right. I should be getting royalties. Thank you very much.